Hey there people, it's your favorite WeedleTwineedle bringing you all another Sword and Shield battle video. It's been quite a while since I've posted one of these, I'm aware. But the reason why we're playing Sword and Shield is because I really wanted to use the pledge moves, particularly Fire and Water Pledge. It is Pride Month.
Happy Gay Month, because you know you gay.
So I figured that it would be kind of fun to, bring the pledge moves back. I've been asked to use the pledge moves here and there throughout the past few years, and I figure it was about time to bring the pledge moves back. Before we get into the battles, if you enjoyed the Sword and Shield or just Wi-Fi battle narrative content in general and want to support the channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, watch until the end of the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. All of those really help out the channel, and if you really want to help me out, there's a new thanks button I unlocked on my channel, and there's also the join button, which you can become a member. So if you want to help me out financially, all those options are there and very much appreciated. And I do have a question of the day for y'all before we get into the battles. What is your favorite legendary Pokemon to use in battle? Like, which legendary Pokemon is just the most fun for you to use? My answer to today's question is definitely Kyurem White. After today's video, you will see why. I'm just going to leave it at that and let the battles speak for themselves. Okay, my first opponent today has a very scary team. They're packing Zacian Calyrex, which is the nice fair and balanced, and they also have Incin, Amoonguss, Thundurus, nice annoying VGC staples, and then my opponent carries Drampa, so they're based for Drampa. Now my team is, of course, the Pledge Magic combination with Primarina and Blaziken having the Water and Fire Pledge respectively, and then Primarina and Chansey are like girlfriends, and then Blaziken, then Kyurem White is a non-binary legend, just like Solgaleo, and then Alola Ninetales is
trash.
They don't get brought at all in this video, so basically they're irrelevant. Just pretend my team only has 5 slots, because this Ninetales does not come once, I am sorry. But yeah, that is our team, and without further ado, let's get into the battle. So I lead off with Blaziken and Primarina. They lead off with Zacian and Drampa, so they actually brought Drampa, which is really cool. Blaziken and Primarina, of course, carry the Pledge combination, and I'm basically hoping that they can survive this turn 1 and that Zacian doesn't target into Primarina. My opponent is going to Dynamax their Drampa turn 1, and I am actually going to show this animation because it is Drampa Dynamaxing, and this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so I figured I'd show it. My opponent's going to go for the play rough into my Blaziken, and we do carry the Focus Sash, so thankfully they targeted into Blaziken as opposed to targeting into Primarina, because that would have been unfortunate. They do get an attack drop, which is kind of funny. I go for the Fire Pledge here, and it actually makes Primarina move. It's kind of like how Round works. If you remember my Round video, the Pledge moves work similarly to Round, where it makes your move combine. But yeah, we're going to set up the Rainbow, and we're going to take some Life Orb damage. And now the Max Strike is going to hit into my Blaziken and knock me out. So my opponent really did not like that Blaziken. They were like, nah, you're dying now. So Primarina's going to get a speed drop, which doesn't really matter too much because it wasn't really outspeeding anything anyway, and the Drampa is also Life Orb, so that's good to know. Gonna bring in Solgaleo, the Pokemon fan, my nice legit shiny Solgaleo, which is probably hacked, but listen, I just wanted to use it because Solgaleo is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon low-key because I love psychic types, and I just like it. So I'm gonna Dynamax my Solgaleo in response to this Drampazation combo, and my opponent's gonna go for Behemoth Blade directly into my Chansey, which is cool because Chansey can take it really well because we are max defense, max HP, EVLA. It's one of the reasons why we're running Chansey over Blissey on this team, which you'll see why I'm saying that, because I do have a move on Chansey, which is kind of weird considering it has such a low special attack stat, and I probably should have run Blissey instead, but Chansey's just much more bulky. And Chansey's more tilting the fight, to be honest. So Zacian's going to go down to the max Steel Spike, and my opponent's Drampa, I really like Drampa a lot. The Cloud9 ability is really unique, but you'll see that my opponent's Cloud9 ability is going to screw them over. So Max Flare is going to set up the Sun, which is, good for them because it increases their firepower if Cloud9 wasn't active, and they're going to activate my weakness policy, which is delicious because now we're at +2 attack, Dynamax, and now my opponent's going to send in their Calyrex, which will outspeed me and go for Astral Barrage, which is kind of scary, so I think I decide to Max Guard right here. Yeah, Max Guard right here, as my opponent's going to go for Astral Barrage, as we're going to be immune to it with Chansey, and we're going to protect ourselves with Solgaleo. And my opponent's going to try to go for Max Flare into Solgaleo as well, but we're able to block it with Max Guard. And now I'm going to go for a Blizzard with my Chansey with Serene Grace and the Rainbow. We're going to freeze the Drampa, and we're going to freeze the Calyrex Shadow Rider. So that is the Rainbow Serene Grace combination. It's a 40% chance to freeze. And because of the sunlight being up, normally they wouldn't be able to get frozen, but Cloud9 made it so that the sun isn't active technically, and they actually got frozen. So That was just absolutely hilarious to me. So I did kind of feel bad, but the whole point of this team was to take Rainbow as far as it can, and the Rainbow literally is just a passive Serene Grace. For y'all who didn't know, Rainbow is like Serene Grace, and it does stack with Serene Grace. So it does have 40% with the Blizzard. It starts at 10%, then doubles to 20 because of Serene Grace, then doubles again to 40% because of the Rainbow effect. So it's actually nearly a 50% chance to freeze both targets, which is insane. It's kind of insane. And here my opponent decides to quit the game. Honestly, you can't really blame them. Like, most rage quits are like, wow. But after you get double frozen, I would turn the game off too. Honestly, I would do it too. But let's get into the next battle, because this is just the beginning of the fun. My next opponent has a Kyogre Rain team, and they also have carry Zacian, because basically every team in this format is Zacian plus restricted Pokemon. It just is what it is. Zacian is the best Pokemon they've ever created in the concept of anything ever, so Zacian is always going to be there. And I'm using the same exact team as last time, so without further ado, let's get right into this battle. So we're challenged by Gab, who has a 276 and Pikachu trainer card. It's kind of cute. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. And we are in a very nice stadium. I think I picked my stadium. So they're going to lead off with Seismitoad and Kyogre, as I decide to lead off with my Blaziken Primarina. Yeah, I kind of lead off with this in nearly every battle because it's a pledge team. I kind of want to use pledges, so forgive me for being like one-dimensional. I'm sorry. So my opponent's going to Dynamax for Seismitoad turn 1. Turn 1 Dynamax, you know how it is.
Fun.
People love it. You can't really knock them for it because it's kind of good. I hate Dynamax. But my opponent's going to go for Max Quake. Primarina's barely able to live. I think they could have went for Max Overgrowth if they carried it and knocked me out, but maybe they don't carry a Power Whip. But I were able to barely live thanks to a Primarina just being max HP. We're able to go for Fire Pledge, outspeed their Kyogre, and go for the Water Pledge into the Seismitoad. We're going to combine our moves together, and it actually knocks out Seismitoad after a special defense boost. But keep in mind that Water Pledge is 150 base power, Torrent boosted, and Rain boosted right now. So we're going to set up the Rainbow, which is just such a lovely animation, and Primarina is going to barely live from Life Orb, but unfortunately, Kyogre is going to Origin Pulse us, and we're going to get knocked out with our Primarina, and we're going to live with our Focus Sash on the Blaziken, which is nice. Down goes Primarina, and we're going to get a Speed Boost with our Blaziken, which will be nice for our Solgaleo. I forget if we bring it in this game or not, but we do carry Bulldoze on Blaziken for the Solgaleo and coaching, so it's really good with the Solgaleo. Now I'm going to bring in Chansey as my opponent's going to bring in the Rillaboom, and Rillaboom can just Grassy Glide or fake out my Blaziken, and that is unfortunate. I don't carry Protect, not that Protect would save me from Grassy Glide, but I do decide to switch out my Blaziken anyway and bring out my Kyurem because I figured this would be a nice opportunity to go for my main gimmick of this team. So my opponent's going to go for Fake Out into the Kyurem White, thankfully, as we're able to take it relatively nicely. We're able to avoid the Origin Pulse, which is also very nice, though it wouldn't have done too much damage because Kyurem White is pretty tanky. My opponent's going to hit my Chansey with Origin Pulse, which of course isn't going to do too much because we are Chansey. And now I'm going to go for the Skill Swap, giving my Kyurem White the Serene Grace. So that Chansey freeze I got on the last game, now Kyurem White can do that. Unfortunately, the rain is up. You know, Blizzard's only 70% accurate without the hail, and I did not bring Ninetales, so it's kind of risky to go for it, but you know what? I don't care. I got the sauce ready. So my opponent's going to hard switch into Zacian, which is smart because it can just immediately threaten out my Kyurem White. I go for the Ancient Power, fishing for the boost, because it's a 40% right now, and we actually get the 40% Omni boost. And that's not all, y'all. We have King's Rock, which doubles the effect with Serene Grace and Rainbow, so it's actually a 40% chance to flinch with the King's Rock, which is absolutely insane. When you think about it, Blizzard has a 40% chance to freeze and 40% chance to flinch. I just wanted to make a quick correction. Serene Grace and Rainbow do stack for all secondary effects, besides the secondary effect of flinching, which does include King's Rock. My combination I had in mind with the Serene Grace, Rainbow, Blizzard having a 40% chance to freeze and or flinch them, sadly isn't as potent as I once thought. If it did stack twice, Rock Slide would have like a guaranteed flinch. Several pledge users do learn Rock Slide, so I do understand why Game Freak made flinching an outlier. I don't want to spread misinformation as I'm trying to showcase the Rainbow mechanic in general. Sorry for interrupting the video, but I wanted to make that correction. And now I'm going to bring in my Blaziken because I want to reset my Chansey's ability because I do want the double Serene Grace. Even though Rainbow is wearing off soon, I still want to reset my Serene Grace. So here I'm going to Dynamax my Kyurem White. because I want to make sure I can knock out the Zacian. I don't think a +1 Earth Power will knock out a very bulky Zacian. I just want to be sure that this shit dies because Zacian's like the last remaining Pokemon that could really threaten my Kyurem White Gay. So I'm gonna Max Quake into the Zacian, knock him out, get a special defense boost as well, which will help me versus the Kyogre, of course. And after like the Omni boost and this Max Quake boost, like Kyogre is not going to be able to do any damage to my Kyurem White, and Blaziken's going to take one for the team. Unfortunately, Blaziken doesn't do much in this game either, but I promise you it was like nice on this team. I just, you know, the battles where I used it, it's kind of like just Bulldoze coaching with Solgaleo and Weakness Policy. It's nothing like too impressive, and I wanted to showcase the Rainbow strategy. It was just like a backup strat on the team, so that's why you know, Blaziken doesn't really do anything, because I want to showcase the Rainbow. But I do have like backup strats on this team in case Rainbow isn't really an option, which for most games it really isn't. It's really hard to set up and then switch in like your secondary effect users and, you know, going ham. So I go for Max Hailstorm into Kyogre just to set up the Hail, because I want to make sure my Blizzards never miss, and I think this is the last 2 Pokemon and they won't be able to reset the weather after this, so might as well, right? So we're going to set up the Hail with the Max Hailstorm. We're going to flinch, because you can flinch with max moves, which is insane if you're holding the King's Rock. They're going to knock off my Eviolite, which is fine because I'm able to go for the Blizzard here. I do have Serene Grace right now. I think Rainbow wore off, I'm pretty sure. But we're still able to freeze Kyogre right here with the Serene Grace Blizzard. And they're going to get buffeted by Hail. And this team is just so funny. Yeah, and there's the Rage Quit. Look at that. Omni Boost flinch. Like, magic, the queer magic is real. Pride, I'm so powerful. That is the end of the battle. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the second Rage Quit, and let's move on to the next battle. So after Chansey cheesed those 2 people, I said enough was enough, and I decided to switch out the Chansey for some other Pokemon. I also switched out the Blaziken for Charizard because I wanted a faster option with Fire Pledge, and then I switched out a low Ninetales for Abomasnow because Abomasnow has the slower weather setting versus like Groudon and Kyogre, which is nice. So we switched up our team a little bit. It's always good to experiment and switch up your team. As Kelvin here has a Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Groudon, Venusaur, Charizard, Standard, Sun, blah team. So that's my opponent's team, and without further ado, let's get into this battle. So I'm challenged by Calvin, who has a 777 trainer card, and a very colorful one at that. I'm not really too sure what's going on there, but my opponent is going to decide to lead off with the Groudon and the Venusaur, as I decide to lead off with, you'll never guess what I decided to lead off with. Abomasnow Kyurem, not the Pledge Setters. Yes, I wanted the immediate weather control, because I figure if they let off with Venusaur Groudon, and I lead off with Primarina Charizard, I probably just like lose instantly because Groudon will just Dynamax or Venusaur will Sleep Powder. So I figure I lead this. So even if they don't lead off with Groudon and they can get weather control later, I can still like, you know, react to that and go from there. So I decided to switch into Primarina out of the Kyurem White right here because I figure that if they protect Groudon, I can bring in Primarina for free, and I don't know, I wanted to pivot in my Charizard as well so I can go for the pledges. So that was my goal here, to scare away my opponent's lead and have him play a little bit defensively. Here they go for the Weather Ball for some reason into the Abomasnow, which is strange. But we take it really, really well because, you know, it's unstab and Abomasnow has max HP. So my Abomasnow is very, very bulky. We're able to set up the Aurora Veil, which will be very, very nice when it comes to dealing with this Calyrex. So it's already proving to be much more handy than a Alolan Ninetales. So I'm sorry y'all who really love Alolan Ninetales. Maybe I'll bring it back in a different video, but right now Abomasnow is just, you know, more iconic and more useful versus, you know, restricted legendaries like Kyogre and Groudon. So my opponent's gonna go for the Astral Barrage right here with the Calyrex, which still does very good damage even through the Aurora Veil, but that's fine. My opponent's also gonna go for the Leaf Storm into my Primarina, which we're actually able to survive because of the Aurora Veil. So the Aurora Veil coming in clutch immediately. So screens are really, really nice in VGC. I see why people spam Grimmsnarl like crazy. Screens are super nice. So I'm gonna go for Moonblast right here into the Calyrex, do a really good chunk of damage and bring it down to a low yellow. But as you can see from the hail damage, I'm actually faster than Calyrex with my Charizard because I am Scarf Charizard on this team, because I want to Scarf Bulldoze for the Solgaleo, I want to Scarf Beat Up for the Terrakion, I want to Scarf Fire Pledge so Primarina can get that speed priority, and then, you know, after I set up the Rainbow, I can go for Air Slash or, you know, Dynamax and Airstream. So like, I thought Charizard was much better than Blaziken as well. So I go for the Fire Pledge, Water Pledge combination into the Calyrex just so I could knock it out. I'm sure I could have went for regular Fire Pledge, but and just went for like a different move like Moonblast, but I decided to go for the combination because obviously I want to use the rainbow as much as possible, so anytime I can get the rainbow off, I go for the rainbow. So Primarina is going to take one for the team, setting up the rainbow with as its dying wish because, you know, it's taking one for the team. And now my opponent's going to send in the Groudon to get the weather control once again. And now I'm going to bring in my Kyurem White K. So in comes Kyurem White, and I'm going to activate Turbo Blaze, which is kind of useless on Kyurem White, to be honest with you. I wish I had a different ability, but you know what? It is good to like ignore like a Sturdy and like Wonder Guard and stuff like that. So in Disguise, so it's nice to have, but I wish I had a more useful ability, you know, like Groudon has Drought, which is like one of the best abilities in the game. Kyurem White does have insane base stats though, so, you know, there is a trade-off. But anyway, I go for the Ancient Power because with the Rainbow active, it's 20% to get the Omni Boost, and we actually get the Omni Boost, which is actually insane. We get it 2 out of 2 times, and that's just the power of LGBT Pride Rainbow Magic. I'm telling you that during June, we even get a flinch because we're King's Rock. So the King's Rock flinch happens once again, even though both of those were only 20% as opposed to 40% because we didn't have the Chansey Serene Gray skill swap. It didn't matter because Rainbow's just that OP. We don't even need Chansey. We just have this... we have the power of being queer on our side. The power of the rainbow. The rainbow flag. My opponent's gonna go for Parting Shot into my Kyurem White, like that's gonna save them. I have an Omni Boost, and the rainbow's still active, and the hail's active. So, like, what are you gonna do? They bring in their Venusaur right here, and the most cursed thing ever is about to happen. So I go for Blizzard with my Abomasnow. You know, the Groudon attack protects itself, rather. And I'm gonna go for the Blizzard into the Venusaur, as we're able to hit it, and we're actually going to freeze it, which is, like, awesome, because 20%, but we're gonna activate its Weakness Policy? Weakness Policy Venusaur. Thankfully, we froze it with Blizzard because that's what it deserves. Thinking you can use Weakness Policy versus the Weakness Policy Master, I am disgusted. So my opponent decides to Dynamax the Groudon because it's the one Pokemon not frozen, but not for long. So they go for the Blizzard under the Rainbow, and you already know. Freeze! Oh my gosh, we now got the Venusaur. The freeze on Venusaur didn't even matter, but it's just sending a message, you know. My opponent's going to eat on their Citrus Berry even though they're frozen. And now my opponent is going to be stuck frozen solid, and I go for another Blizzard into the Groudon, and they Rage Quit before the turn even ends. That's 3 for 3 battles to Rage Quit. But yeah, they DC, and we destroy them with the Freeze hacks. And honestly, like, these Rage Quits are totally understandable, but that is just the power. I figure it would be best if I just like showed the best battles I had with this team, because it is a meme team. It's not meant to be taken seriously. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching until the end of the video. Join my Discord server if you want a place to hang out and talk, pop Pokemon. Follow my Twitter, and I'll check you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.